Can you believe that there was a time without vacuum cleaners? When brushes did the cleaning, sold door to door by young men in shapeless suits. A time when women wore skirts that looked like lampshades. When computers were the size of double-decker buses. When there was no TV and reading was the most popular form of entertainment. A time when children died of chicken pox and cats and dogs were eaten on Sundays with vegetables grown in the piles of steaming horse manure that covered the roads of the great British Empire. It was called 1950. This is the Visitors Book, where all the grisly tales of all my wicked guests are written down. Want to see why one of these bad children is down here? This is Victoria's story. I call it Sick to Death. It was in the 1950s that Victoria Spew reached the difficult age of 11. To be frank, every age from 1 upwards had been difficult for Victoria because Victoria was a difficult child. By chuck-up or chunder, she always got what she wanted. Her father was one of the young men who sold brushes door to door. This kept him away from home all week, which meant that Victoria could treat her mother like a servant. And get away with it. I shan't be going to school tomorrow.
I think you will, Victoria, dear.
No, I won't. You see, Mrs. Spew had a weak constitution. The very sight of sick made her feel queasy, which meant that when she had to clean it up, she couldn't. She left that for Mr. Spew to do. Poor Mr. Spew, away all week and up to his elbows in vomit at the weekend. Then, one Saturday after supper, Victoria burst into crocodile tears.
Oh, Daddy, have I done something to upset you? Is that why you haven't brought me a present this weekend?
The thing is, Princess, Daddy's work's a little bit difficult at the moment.
You mean you haven't got me a present because you're too poor?
Victoria, you don't ask.
Then I shall scream and scream and scream until I get one.
Stop it! I can't take it anymore. You can't take it anymore. You're not the one who has to live with the stink. No, but I'm the one who has to clear it up. If you don't want to clear it up, then buy me one of those newfangled vacuum cleaners. Apparently they're marvellous at sucking up liquids. In case you hadn't noticed, I sell brushes. The vacuum cleaner is putting me out of a job. Then wake up and sell vacuum cleaners instead. Vacuum cleaners are sold by villains. There's more honour in selling horses' teeth. Oh, really? A vacuum cleaner salesman rang on our doorbell the other day. He seemed quite nice. He said it was a shame that a pretty woman like me had to live in a house that smelled of sick. And I suppose he told you that a vacuum cleaner would be the answer to all your problems. He did. Not only would it suck up the sick, but it was guaranteed to stop Victoria screaming as well. Oh, whoever heard of a machine that could suck the scream out of a person? I shall never have a vacuum cleaner in this house. Oh dear, I've already asked him to come back on Monday. That's for driving my daddy away. I shall never get another present now in the whole of my life. I hate you forever and to death. As it happened, Mr. Spew was right about vacuum salesmen. When Hoshama Shark came back on Monday, he oiled his way through the door and didn't leave until he had relieved Mrs. Spew of 65 guineas for a Shark Deluxe vacuum cleaner with extendable nozzle for reaching those difficult-to-get-at places. And some of the places this vacuum cleaner would be going were very difficult to get at indeed. While he was getting into his car, who should Hoshama see but Victoria walking home from school?
Hello, my little vacuum cleaner's friend. Go away. You're the nasty man who's killing Daddy with your vacuum cleaners. It's not your daddy I'm after, Victoria.
What do you mean?
Beware of the Shark Deluxe. It has a most voracious appetite and has been known to consume small pets and precious household objects. Budgerigars have been sucked through the bars of their cages. Rings have been torn off fingers. Even fingers themselves have occasionally been ripped from a hand, like popsicles from a baby's fist.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Oh, I think you do. Quit the sickies. For should this vacuum cleaner ever become full, you will discover that it behaves most strangely.
Is it going to eat me?
Victoria Spew got the distinct impression that it was.
So when she saw her mother's new vacuum cleaner, she wanted it out of the house immediately.
Or I'll scream and scream until I'm sick.
Fine, scream as much as you like. Be sick over every stick of furniture in the house if that's what you want, Victoria. Because now that I've got my vacuum cleaner and can suck up your sick in a flash, I don't care. It was war. For the next few days, Victoria screamed and splatted as often as she could, while thanks to the sucking power of the Shark Deluxe, Mrs. Spew did something she hadn't been able to do since Victoria was born. She enjoyed life. On the fourth day, Victoria was not feeling very clever when the vacuum cleaner suddenly stopped working. Something's wrong. I'm full now. I think the bag's full. I'm full now. Then you have to empty it. I'm full now. Shut up! You have to empty the bag. No. I'm full now. I bought this machine so I'd never have to touch your sick again. I'm full now. But you have to. If you don't empty the bag, the vacuum cleaner will start behaving strangely. Don't be silly. The man told me. The man also told me it would stop you screaming. But it hasn't done that, has it? I'm full now. I want that vacuum cleaner cleaned out now! Do as I say or I'll scream and scream until I'm sick, and this time you won't have anything to clean it up with except your own bare hands! Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I've got room inside after all. For one small girl.
Mommy! Help! Save me!
But Victoria was a goner. Fingers, toes, kneecaps, nostrils, eyes, elbows, liver, heart and tongue. One by one, her body parts found their final resting place in a bag of steaming sick. Which was why Mrs. Spew never sifted through the bag to rescue her. She put the vacuum cleaner into the attic to await Mr. Spew's return. He could sort through the chunks to look for Victoria. After all, she was his daughter too.
Help! Help!
Only Mr. Spew never did return, which means that Victoria is still up there learning her lesson today.